This is John T for the Boxing Voice, and I'm delighted to be joined this evening by Otto Wallin, Swedish heavyweight. How are you, Otto?
Very well, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm really good. Thanks for taking time to come on the show. It's really good to have you on here. How's your day been? You've been strength and conditioning, I understand. Is that right?
Yeah, just got back from the gym here. Put in a workout, and now just got back, came out of the shower, and now I'm ready to do this interview here.
Excellent stuff. Well, thanks again. Well, look, if you don't mind, I'll start off with last time out. Fantastic performance from you and a really big win against Dominic Breazeale, who'd only been beaten himself twice beforehand, and that was against Wilder and Anthony Joshua. So really, really good experience there. Talk us about the fight and how it went.
I think it went pretty good. Breazeale is I would say, my best win so far. And it was a step up from Travis Kaufman that I fought the fight before that. And yeah, I think we had Breazeale down pretty good, and we had a good idea what he was going to do. And so I felt like I executed pretty good. Not perfect, but pretty good.
Did it go to plan how you'd planned beforehand? Because the scorecards, it was unanimous decision, and I had it pretty much the same as what the judges had. It was quite a convincing victory for me, which showed the level you're at.
Yeah, I think that it went pretty much according to plan. I haven't been able to watch the whole fight yet, but maybe I could have pushed him a little more when he was fading a little bit. But, you know, he's a dangerous guy, big guy, and a big puncher. So he's also very dangerous when he's hurt. So we had been studying him pretty good. So I didn't want to push it that much. So, you know, we went to our decision, and a win is the most important.
Absolutely, and a great win at that. And if you don't mind me mentioning, a fight before, or it might have been one or two before, the only loss on your record was against Tyson Fury, which there's nothing wrong with that at all. You know, this guy's an undefeated world champion himself. And many people, certainly over here in Britain, felt that you pushed him a lot more than anyone else. You cut his eye. What did you learn from that fight against Fury?
I think I learned a lot from that. And just, you know, having the experience of going 12 rounds with the best in the world, you know, it doesn't get better than that. And especially for a guy like me that, you know, was a prospect that just was waiting for a big shot, and finally I got it. And, you know, I didn't win, but I did my best, you know, and put in a good performance. So, I mean, my career has really gone up from there. So it's been, I mean, that fight was a great experience for me, and just has taken my career to a new level. And now I just got to keep working and keep training to get another shot, or a shot at the world champion, whoever that is at the time.
Yeah, I totally agree, Otto. I mean, I hope you don't mind me saying, but prior to the Fury fight, I personally didn't know too much about you, had to do a bit of research. And then afterwards, I was like, wow, you know, this guy's really at a high level there. And I think you backed that up by coming out next against Breazeale and having a convincing win. So really, really good there. Right, well, now you're ranked, I think, 12th in the IBF and 13th in the WBA, something like that. So your world ranking's really good. Where do you go next, and who might a future opponent be, Otto?
I'm not sure, but I'm looking to fight again, maybe June, July, something like that. That would be good. And I'm fighting with Showtime, so they have a good connection with the PBC. And most likely it's going to be one of those guys, I would think. You know, I have had 2 fights with Showtime now. It's both been against PBC fighters with Kaufman and Breazeale. So I would think that it's going to be somebody over there, and somebody a little better than Breazeale will be good, I think.
Looking at the rankings, I'll throw a few names in there, certainly on your side of the water over in America. You've got Charles Martin, who's ranked really high still in the IBF. You've got Andy Ruiz Jr. I think he's slated to come back against Ariola, but obviously he's looking to come back. Michael Hunter, one of those 3 names, that kind of level. Could we see something like that?
Yeah, I know that Ruiz is locked up with Ariola. I would like Charles Martin. I think that would be a good fight.
Definitely, and that certainly move you right up the IBF rankings if you were to come through that and win it, which would be really good. We've also got over in the UK, I am a little bit biased because I am from the UK, but we've got a lot of great heavyweight Brits. Would you be willing to come over here maybe? Because boxing in the heavyweight scene is really buzzing, and there's quite a lot of good top-level fighters at your level around.
Yeah, I would say, I mean, the UK has a ton of guys and a huge talent pool over there, especially in the heavyweight. So definitely, if it makes sense for me to go over there, I would do it. And as long as Showtime is on board with it, then that would be great.
Yeah, the other thing over here, boxing is a bit booming at the moment, certainly in the heavyweight scene. As I said, that once the pandemic has sort of like got a lot better and everybody's had the vaccine, we'll probably have open events with fans at stadiums. And we tend to sell out. I mean, depending on who it is, AJ sold out Wembley like 90,000, but even some of our other football stadiums, 40, 50,000 for a lot of our heavyweights, which would be fantastic. I'll stick at the British heavyweights, if that's okay. I also understand, I know that we mentioned that you fought Tyson Fury in the paid ranks, but am I right in saying that you also fought Anthony Joshua, and that was in the amateurs?
Yeah, I fought him twice in amateurs. We fought early on in our careers in, I think it was 2009 and 10 or something like that. And first fight we had was over in London at the Harrogate Box Cup. And yeah, I mean, it's funny when you look back at it, because going around as an amateur, you don't know who you're fighting, and you never know what's going to happen. And then all of a sudden, he's a unified world champion, and I'm on my way up there. And it's funny how it works in boxing.
Yeah, definitely. That would be a great fight, maybe for you to. I think you lost that one, didn't you, in the final 1 points, was it? So that would be great for you to get back in the ring and try and avenge that sometime.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Excellent. Well, I'll keep at the heavyweight scene. There's a big fight Saturday. Dillian White against Povetkin. Did you watch the first fight? And if you did, what did you think?
Yeah, I watched the first fight, and I mean, Dillian White was winning. He had him down a couple of times, and then Povetkin pull out one of those veteran tricks and knocked Dillian out. And I mean, that was a beautiful shot. But I felt like he was losing the fight, so I would think now that Dillian White is going to come out and try to outbox him and play it safe. I think he's really going to try and play it safe at least early on. Then maybe towards the end, maybe push it a little more. But my guess is that he's going to come out, try to outbox him, play it safe, and win a decision.
Is that what you think will happen? He'll win on points?
I think so.
Yeah, okay. I think that tends to be the most common answer at the moment, although Povetkin clearly with that last fight proved that he's still got a lot to give. I think some people think maybe because of his age, that might be why he would get beat, but proved everybody wrong there. And then moving on to another heavyweight fight. It's not yet announced, but probably the biggest one that everyone's waiting for, certainly again over here, Fury v AJ. You are one of not lots of people who can claim to fight in both. One, Tyson Fury, as we've mentioned, in the paid ranks, and Joshua in the amateurs. Who do you think would win that one, Otto?
I think it will be, first and foremost, a great fight. It's the two best heavyweights out there. And I think it's going to be great for boxing and great for the heavyweights. And hope that they can get a crowd if everything works out. The actual fight, I think that Joshua is very dangerous. He's a big puncher, and he's got good tools, more than just a punch. But I think that Fury, him being the bigger guy, very awkward. He has great boxing skills. So I think for me, the Fury is going to be the favorite. But like I said, Joshua will be dangerous with that punch, but we see.
Yeah, so we're all excited. Hopefully that'll be announced officially soon. And who knows, if not the first one, maybe a rematch, we can get the fans in there and have a 90,000 people go and watch it. Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, there could be a huge fight over there. Yeah, definitely. And, even if they had 2 or 3 of them, it makes money. As long as the fight's close and competitive, I guess the problem you then have is sort of like the mandatories, etc. And they're allowed to, I think it's the WBO that they've given them permission to fight before that mandatory. But yeah, we'll be excited for that. Well, thanks so much for your time, Otto. Really appreciate it. And we'll get in contact with you a bit nearer when your fight's announced to maybe try and get an interview in with you just before or after, if that's okay. Yeah, sounds good. Thank you very much for having me. No worries. You have a good day. Cheers, bud.
So if you enjoyed the video, feel free to hit the like, subscribe, and share. As always, if you want to support us to the next level, head over to the patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice. We have tons of exclusive from Border Wars, Untitled, betting shows, the list goes on and on and on. But in addition to that, if you guys have questions for fighters, trainers, and promoters, this is where you can submit them. We will run out, get these questions answered, and put it back on the show just for you guys. Appreciate it. Peace.